Hello, astrology explorers, and welcome back to another weekly astrology forecast with your host, Stella. And this is Avella Star Astrology, where we explore all the amazing transits that affect our lives according to astrology. This week, we are exploring September 13th through September 19th. But before I say anything else, please remember to subscribe. I'm seeing a lot of views and a lot of people clicking and commenting, but no subscriptions. Subscribe. It lets me know that these videos are really impacting you and helping you. And of course, click on the bell notification so you know exactly when these videos are coming up. And if you like the video, of course, that will help with the algorithm, which will get this out to more people and help more people navigate the stars. So this week we're exploring September 13th through the 19th. And I want to say that overall, this week is really about confronting the hard conversations you need to have. And also exploring how you can keep moving forward. I think that there's some positive aspects in the middle of the week to Pluto. There are some harder situations happening for a few weeks with Mars. But I think overall, we can overcome them by focusing on the task at hand. So that's the word of the week, focus. We start with the moon in Sagittarius. And of course, we know the tropes about Sagittarius. It's the explorer. It is the wise man, the gypsy. And it's not necessarily tethered to the planet Earth, as it is more about the exploration of our knowledge and the highest knowledge that you can explore as a person on this planet. And of course, Sagittarius, being a fire sign, has a lot more, I don't want to say urge to do things, but definitely motivation to do things. So the moon in this sign is going to help us reflect on what we're learning, push us towards what we want to do with what we've learned, and really understand how it fits into the greater picture. So take advantage of this day to really journal and sit down. As I always say, there's journal prompts below that you can utilize to start your week off on the right foot. What are you learning? What adventures are you going on in the future? And so on. Then we move on through the week, and September 14th is probably the pivotal moment of this month for Mars, as it is transitioning into Libra for 6 weeks. And Libra's the sign right before it actually goes into Scorpio. And I just want to say, whenever a planet is right before its sign or right after its sign, it's really not as strong, obviously. So Libra is not its happiest place, let's say, especially since Libra is ruled by none other than Venus, who, by the way, let's all think about this. Last week, Venus moved into Scorpio, which means that Venus is in Mars' sign, and now Mars is moving into Libra, which means that they're kind of like in the opposite spectrum, not opposite each other, but definitely in the opposite element, opposite sort of experience from each other right now. So it's even more imperative that we really look at our relationships and say, take it a step back, not take it too much, because when Mars is in Libra, it brings a lot of conflict to relationships. It brings a lot of feelings of things being a little bit slower. The things that you want to accomplish feel like, it's taking forever, and why can't I have it now? And then, you feel a little frazzled. Like, we have the sun in Virgo, who's really organizing our lives. And all of the planets have moved out of Virgo. So you better have done all your homework then, because now it's all about waiting for the right sign positions. Once Mars moves into Scorpio, it'll feel a little better. But while we wait for that, we got to make sure we clean up our, messes. We're not trying to be messy in our relationships. We're being more ethical, more, contemplative, because it could be coming from the wrong place. So you don't want to be the person who digs their own grave and creates a mess because Mars is agitating you in the wrong place, right? So we move on, and on the 15th, Moon will be in Capricorn, which is a lot more practical. hopefully all of this emotional stuff that's happening with Mars and Libra can be a little bit calmed down, because you've got the moon in Capricorn. It's there to calm your emotions. If you know any Capricorn, they're not devoid of emotion. They're more just controlled. They know what their opposite sign Cancer is like, and they're more into the idea that you can control your emotions, you can bring down the temperature. So hopefully this cool position will cool down the temperature between you and your loved ones. Then we move on to September 16th, which is so good. This is such a good time in the week. The sun is going to be in Virgo, trine Pluto in Capricorn. And as I said, sun in Virgo is bringing a lot of more organization to our lives, a lot more contemplative view. So this is a positive transit that allows us to focus on our plans and on the transitions that we want to make and how we can make them go smoothly, as opposed to overwhelmed by all the things that are going on. So sit out there and just enjoy the 16th as what it is, because maybe you've been trying to, open a business or establish yourself within an industry, whatever the case may be. But as you're moving into this sign, you are able to, or rather, as you're moving through this transit, you're able to really maybe see things come into fruition that you wanted. Maybe a contract comes through. Maybe your organizational skills have supported you in obtaining something. Enjoy that moment. Or if you haven't received it, try to plan it out on that time. Then, of course, on September 17th, Venus is in Scorpio, is going to be square Saturn in Aquarius. That is not going to be a fun time. This is an up and down week, guys. I mean, this is not smooth sailing by any means. Venus is in Scorpio is all about that jealousy right now with this transit. And Saturn in Aquarius is, of course, about delays. Saturn is always about delays. But let's combine those two. So the plans that you had with your lover or with your significant other are going to be, let's just say, not as you wanted them to be. But, who knows? Maybe something better is coming. Maybe something more positive is going to follow that. Don't be afraid of confronting your relationships in a positive way. Looking towards solutions as opposed to looking towards the problems, either that person is causing or that you feel, is someone else's fault. Usually, I don't want to say that everything is your fault, but I do want to say that you need to take responsibility about what your parts are in, especially when Venus is in Scorpio, as we have a tendency to see others at fault. Scorpio is a wonderful placement. It's a wonderful sign. I'm not saying anything wrong with Scorpios. However, we tend to be more histrionic about, or hysterical about the, situations that we're in because of our water sign placement, because of Mars being there, because it's like, a steamy type of experience. It's not going to be clear why things are happening, what's going on. Just take a moment, breathe, and accept the delays. Just wait, because maybe, the sun will come out tomorrow. Don't give into that angry or that fearful place that you can go to when Venus is in Scorpio. Especially for your lovers. They need a break. Give them a break, guys. And as we move through the week, we're just following the moon, and moon is in Aquarius. You're going to be more focused on your community, more focused on how you impact it, what you can do to help others. And then moon is in Pisces, preparing us for the full moon next week. And when the full moon comes on the 20th, it's going to be a great time. But for right now, the moon in Pisces is getting us ready. It's a more peaceful placement for the moon, and all the emotions that have come up and down throughout this week really come to a head, because you'll realize the reason why. I mean, full moons are the end point to your transitions. I would say look at the goals that you set around the new moon in Pisces earlier this year and see where you're at. See what you've actually accomplished. See if there's more to do. Like I said, at the bottom of this page, there are wonderful questions you can use as journal prompts to help you reflect on this week and how you have transitioned, what you have done, And finally, my astrology explorers, I just want to remind you, if you would like your own personal reading, please go to Instagram and send me a message, as well as join me at the Astro Read podcast. It's so exciting. We have put up this fall video. So all of the transits through the fall, we go over, at least the major transits, like, the equinox that's coming in the fall, as well as the experiences of the eclipses that will be coming at the end of the season. So go over to the Astro Read and listen up. And of course, please subscribe. This is your community. We are all coming together to learn and grow in our astrological knowledge. If there's a topic of astrology that you'd like me to explore, please put it in the comments below. I hopefully will be completing the October astrological readings for all 12 signs at the end of this week. I'm very excited. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful week. It's going to be a little bit rough. Just remember, keep your feet on the ground. It can be easy to get swept away when Venus is in Scorpio with your fears, your anger, the things that you find out about your significant others. It might be something surprising, but don't be afraid of the situations that you're in, because they're going to make you stronger. Everything that Saturn is putting you through is to make you stronger. And remember, if you don't, I don't want to say give in to Saturn. I want to say if you don't grow with Saturn, then just remember, once it transitions out of Aquarius, it has a new lesson. And you need the lessons you're learning now from Saturn to move forward in the next transition. So do not resist Saturn's urges to grow in whatever area of your chart astrologically that Aquarius is in. Thank you so much for listening. And please remember to like and subscribe. This video is for you. It's for our community as the Astro Explorers. And thank you for joining me today for your readings in the week.